Thank you, Andrea, for the second part of this challenge. It's a really interesting way that you've chosen to think about it. So we've still got those results of our students, and we want for each of these subject areas to create a grouping for them. So like the lower quartile, the upper quartile, and the interquartile range kind of areas. So we're going to make this easier for ourselves so we don't have to perform 3 separate functions. And we're going to pivot this so that we have all the subjects in one field and all the grades in another field. So then we're going to use our tile function. So we can do this by going to our grade field and going to the create calculator field and tile option. We can make sure that we're grouping by our by our subject. So I'm going to do this in the next step. So I've already done it in the next step, but I was just trying to show you how that menu looks. So let me just expand it from there instead. Okay, so I group by the subject and I make sure that my grades are in descending order, and I get 4 tiles so that I know for each subject I have those 4 categories, those 4 groupings. And then I can get rid of the grade. I no longer need that. Then I can just join that up with this tiles input, which is just going to translate those numbers 1 to 4 into words for us to read. So 25th percentile, 75th percentile, or the interquartile range. So somewhere in the middle. And we're just going to join those together where the group is equal to the number. And then we don't need those group or number fields anymore. Okay, so now we're just left with these 3 fields, and we can unpivot that. Where we pivoted it before, we'll just do another pivot step and do rows to columns with each subject as our new header, and then we'll take our range as our value here, making sure to change it from count to max or min. I do max because I'm an optimist. Not true, I'm actually quite a pessimist, but anyway. So now we can bring this back together with our information about the students to find their full names. So we just want to keep the full name, the class, and the student ID for the joining purposes. We're actually not concerned about gender in this instance. So we're just going to remove gender, and our class, you'll notice in the previous step, had a little light bulb above it. So we can actually just go and apply the recommendation of trimming the spaces from that field to make that easier to work with, because each of these has a trailing space, so a space before the class name. So we trim that down. And then we're joining that on to our dataset, and now we need to create that flag. So we want to flag students who are either in Class A or Class B. So we start off our logical statement with that. And then we have an AND clause, and then I've split this up quite a lot so that it's easier to read. So I'm just doing the big brackets around here. So either it's going to be 2 subjects or more that are in the 25th percentile. So it's either English and economics that contain the 25, or it's English and psychology, or it's economics and psychology. So these are the lower performing categories. And then obviously if it's all 3, that will be captured by all of these basically. So it will definitely come through into the yes category. So then we get just our yes category here, which is all the students who are in class 9A or 9B who have 2 or more subjects in the 25th percentile. Cool. So that is the challenge complete. We can just output our data there. Thank you very much again. Oh, it hasn't actually, I haven't remembered to filter. Let me just do that filtering to the yes flag there. Now we have those 7 rows left over. And that is our challenge complete. So thanks again to Andrea for those 2 challenges across the 2 weeks, and thank you to you for watching.